us your name and what do you do?
My name's Gilbert Archuleta. I'm presently employed by the Grand Imperial Hotel, doing the restoration work there at the hotel for American Heritage Railroad. And I was born here in Silverton in the hospital in 1958 and went to school here, never left town. I was fortunate through the whole time to remain in Silverton. I had 4 brothers that all also worked in the mining industry and 3 sisters, and I was the only one that was able to keep steady employment through all the mining and the shutdowns and remain in Silverton. But I was born in 1958 in the hospital, went to school here in Silverton from kindergarten through 12th grade, and played basketball when I was in junior high, in high school. I met my girlfriend, who's my wife now. We've been together for 46 years, married now. So done that, and then when I was 14, when you grew up in Silverton, you would start working at the restaurants as a busboy, then you went to a dishwasher, and then to a prep cook. And they kind of groomed you to, when you were 16, you could go work up at the mine outside in the summer times. Well, at that time, they didn't check your ID or nothing, so when I was 14, I told them I was 16. So I started working at the mine, outside the mine, when I was 14 years old. So I'd done that, worked up there part-time, learned how to operate equipment, and my main job up there was being a timber framer. So me and my brother built all the ladders, all the shaft timber, all the cribbing, and everything that they used underground.
And what mine was this?
This was at the Sunnyside mine. We worked there. At that time, it was Standard Metals. When I was working it, starting out, it was Standard Metals, and done that, learned how to operate equipment. The first piece of equipment I learned how to operate, my other brother was doing the equipment operating. He taught me how to operate a 1948 D7 dozer. So that's where I started learning how to operate equipment. So I done that till 1978 when Lake Emma came in and flooded, and then my position was cut. At that time, I came down to work for the town. They had a program going on for all the guys that got laid off at the mine. It was called JPTA, and I worked down here for the town as a mechanic and equipment operator and operating equipment, and we started laying the Boulder Creek water line up Ree Street. That was my project to put in, and made it about halfway through the project, got called back to the mine, went and worked up there till winter came up, and the job ended with what I was doing. And so that winter, we just stood around town. It was a real bad winter, shoveling snow, and that's how I made it through that winter. Me and my family were just shoveling snow. Myself and my wife had a vehicle that would commute from here to Purgatory, and she worked down there cleaning rooms, and I worked down there shoveling roofs. So we done that to get us by till the next summer. And so we hung around till then. The mine called me back. I got on a reclamation crew, planting trees and stuff like that on the Tailings Pond 2, and down by Tailings Pond 4. So I done that, working for the reclamation crew. Then I went to work at the mill, the Mayflower Mill, working with Roy Young, changing out the substation, upgrading it to a bigger substation at that time. So I worked there through that summer, and then that fall I was called back to the mine to go back up there and operate equipment for them. So I done that for about a half a year, and then that's when they were doing the cleanup from the Lake Emma spill, and I went to driving trucks and hauling the material to the Mayflower Mill to be processed. And I done that through 81, driving trucks until the mine went bankrupt. And once the mine went bankrupt, I went driving trucks again, but I was hauling ore out of the Colorado mine over in Telluride, hauling their concentrates from Telluride to Montrose to put it on the rail. And right when that job ended, I was fortunate enough to get a job with P&G Mining, working out at the Howardsville mill. And I worked there as an equipment operator and in charge of a maintenance crew. And I was there for 2.5 years. Done that, they shut down, and I was able to get a job at the Sunnyside Mill as a maintenance person. And my first job was just doing all the greasing, greased all the pumps, greased all the ball mills, the rod mill, everything. That was my job when I first started out, and went from there to being one of the lead maintenance guys, and done that, and I still operated equipment and done stuff for them. And then I went into being the maintenance boss, and I ran the maintenance crew and done all the maintenance at the mill for about 5 years. And then when the mine was going to shut down the Sunnyside, they had a reclamation crew, and they asked if I would be interested in getting on that crew. So I left the mill before it shut down and got on the reclamation crew. And from there, I ended up going up to the mine and working at the mine from 92 till 98. And the first year, worked outside and operated the lime water treatment plant. We treated the water that came out of the Sunnyside. And then after that, I went underground in the winter months to do mine closure. We're putting the bulkheads in and stuff like that. And then from there, in the summertime, we went up and worked at Lake Emma, filling in the lake and doing all the reclamation work up there. We got done with that project. I came down and worked on Pond 4 and Pond 3, putting all the caps on there and doing all the sloping that is behind what is now the transfer station and all that. I'd done most of that dozer work for, at that time it was Echo Bay. So I stood with them till 1998 and left. They were about ready to, we were about done with reclamation, we thought. And so the town of Silverton offered me a job for public works. So that was in 98. I came to work for the town as an operator. And in 6 months, I became the public works director, and I was there for 17 years. And now I'm at my current job at the Grand Imperial Hotel.
Okay. You belong to the firemen's organization, is that right?
I became a firefighter in 1977. I'm going on my 46th year as being a volunteer firefighter. 34 of them years, I've been the fire chief, and I was assistant chief prior to that, but I've been with them going on 46 years. So with the fire department, met a lot of great guys. We've had some serious fires. In 78, when the mine flooded, we had 2 structures on Green Street that caught on fire. One was a load theater where the Coffee Bear is located now. And then a few weeks later, we had another one where the 8-Ball used to be. So we had 2 fires in that 1 year on Green Street. So we've had some, during my time, we've had some major fires. When I first started, we had 1 truck. We operated out of 1 bay at the town hall. And then we went from there to what was a carriage house, and we had 2 bays. And then 7 years ago, we built the new fire station. But we had, during my time, we had some big fires. You know, probably the most memorable one was in 92 when the town hall caught on fire. And it was 30 below zero that night when we went out to fight the fire. Our pumps were freezing up on the trucks and stuff like that. But that was a big fire, the 8-Ball. Just across from the town hall was another fire on Green Street. That was a big one. And then just several years ago, we had the one at the Great Divide. That was a big fire there also. So we've had some major fires during my 45 years. There's some big fires in the business district.
So how many firefighters do you have?
The fire department presently right now has 32 firefighters on there, and they're all volunteers. Like I said, nobody gets paid for any of the work or anything. It's strictly volunteer organization. But it's been a great organization to be part of. I'm most honored because when they built the building, the new fire station, the firefighters decided to dedicate the building to me, so my name's on the front of the building, which is kind of strange to be alive and have your name on a building.
Well, you must have done something right.
Yeah, so like I said, it's been a lot of years there, and to try to get that new building, I spent 17 years trying to find funding and different things to get that accomplished. So, but we went from having 2 trucks to now we have 3